So I'm sewing my nose wire pocket, or no, I'm sewing my zip tie pocket. I'm gonna come a few inches into the mask, and I'm gonna do my best to line up this first line with the bottom line of my nose wire pocket without hitting the nose wire. So might be a little bit below, but somewhere in that vicinity to kind of keep it all compact. And I'm just gonna sew straight across, and I'm gonna stop a little bit before I get to my flap for the elastics. So I've got one line across that's separate from my nose wire. And then I use a zip tie to measure and be sure that I have enough space and I'm not making the pocket too small or outrageously big. And I just slide it along beside that line. And once you've done it a couple of times, you'll get pretty good about it. But you're just gonna wanna measure to make sure and leave a little bit of extra room so you don't get anything stuck. Again, you wanna be sure you are sewing close enough that you are accurate, but also far enough away that you're not gonna hit the zip tie because you will break your needle. Now you have your first channel for a zip tie. So I would just test it so you don't get too far. With it being wrong, because this is kind of the point of no return. If you mess up these pockets, then you're gonna need to do some seam ripping and go back and fix that. So, fits. I'm gonna take this out for doing the bottom one, but you get the idea. On the bottom, again, just make sure everything's unrolled and whatnot. I don't do a bottom line. I just let the bottom seam be that bottom line. And since I've done this a couple times now, I am not going to use a zip tie guide, but I try to line up the bottom line with the other side so that they're roughly the same length of zip ties when you get to that step. And then same thing, you just want to check that pocket so that if you need to go back and fix it, you know right away. But that fits nicely. So I'm gonna trim up my threads. So now you're gonna sew a line straight up the center. Well, not actually straight up the center, just off of center. So you should have a seam in the center. You wanna go a little bit past it and sew that line. And I would not have any zip ties inside of this. You want to make sure that you start that line above your pocket or past your pocket. So you're not sewing through it because that's gonna close up your zip tie pocket. Same thing on the top side. Don't go through the pocket. And this can get tricky because you do have your nose wire already sewn into place, but all right. So now take a zip tie and I press it. I take the bottom end and press it with my finger to that bottom line where it's going to stop, and then push it as taut as I can on the inside where I just sewed that line so that I get this curve that's going to be what keeps it away from my face. And then I make a little mark, usually fold the zip tie so that I know where it goes, and just cut that. And then set this off to the side. You can probably use one zip tie for 2 masks on the curve. Then you're going to get that zip tie in there, and you're just going to work it in. You'll have to bend it and finagle it, but you'll get the hang of it eventually. So now you can see my zip tie. If I hold it like this, it's pushed taut. So now all you're gonna do, it's lined up with the first line we just sewed. You're gonna close that pocket the same way you made the other side. So just don't close your bottom and top pockets, but you are almost done. So now just take another zip tie, full length zip tie, and take it through both pockets and then trim it so that it is the appropriate length for the channel you made inside your mask. And I don't go back and close up these zip tie pockets because they're gonna get closed anyway with your elastics on the end, and you can just adjust them if they get off center. It's not hard. So now you've got the whole mask, the structure of the mask is done. And then you'll just flip these ends in and attach your elastics, and you're done. Right, and once you've got your elastics attached, I bend the nose wire into shape for my nose, and that's going to take some adjusting on your own face. And then it's on, and you can see there's plenty of space. It's not touching my face at all out here, and then I can press it in a pretty decent amount, at least half an inch, to show you where my face is. I hope that helps, and I hope we stop having a need for masks soon. But until that point, I hope this will be of use to you.